Good morning. It's 5:30 in the morning on August 19th, and I'm sitting in a parking area at an Appalachian Trail crossing in Carabasset Valley, Maine. 2021 has been a year of me not accomplishing my running goals so far. Here it is, as I said, August 19th, and I have accomplished 0. That many. And I was going to attempt one today, but because of a really stupid little mistake, I'm not going to actually be able to try it. Driving up here, I was calculating, and there's 14 weeks this year that I had to miss training because of either being sick or injured, which is not normal for me. I never get injured, and I get sick once every couple of years and have to miss a couple of weeks, but nothing like this year. So it's no wonder I'm not in my best shape and I haven't been able to get things done. So I think I had 5 FKTs, or fastest known times, that I wanted to do this year. If you don't know what those are, go to fastestknowntime.com and check them out. It's actually pretty cool. There's thousands of routes all over the world, and there's records of who's done them the fastest, and there's different categories, like if you do it alone or if you do it with help and whatnot. And some of them, if you find small local ones, sometimes there might not be anybody in the category you want to do, so you don't even have to be that fast. You may be the first person to try it and be able to set the time, or if there are times on a route and they're too fast for you, you know you can't do it, you can always set a goal. You know, I want to be within an hour of this person or whatever. And, you know, races are awesome. I love doing races, but they're expensive. And doing FKTs is free, although please make a donation because they don't get paid to maintain that website except through your donations. So anyway, today I was going to do one of the 5 FKTs that I wanted to do this year, which was then out and back on the Bigelow Range, 34 miles. And I wasn't really sure it was going to happen because of several reasons. I'm getting over a cold. I'm mostly better, but I'm just not quite 100%. And the weather is also not cooperative today. It rained last night. It actually just stopped raining, so the trails are going to be pretty slippery, which is slower going. And then later in the day, it's going to get really hot. So that would slow me down. But I said, if my time's too slow, you know, I'll go out for, 20 or so of the miles and turn around. I'll just evaluate at 10 miles, at 11 miles, wherever. See if I need to turn around or not. And if I turn around, then at least I do have a good training run. But I got about a mile from my house and said, oh, I didn't charge my watch last night. So I looked at the battery life and it's at 15%. That'll last me about an hour. Hour and a half. So it's not going to happen because when you submit an FKT, your performance, you have to have proof, and most people use a GPS watch to provide proof. So yeah, I don't have any way to provide proof. So even if it did go well, not going to happen. So I was going to start, the route that I was doing actually starts about 15 minutes further north. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to park here, and start here in Carabasset Valley, save myself that extra drive, because what does it matter? I'm going to go out and do a training run, see how it goes, see how I feel. I'll bring you along with me. The views are out of this world. The Bigelows are kind of my home turf, and I love it. It's just the most beautiful place. So I'm just gonna finish my breakfast here, and I was waiting for it to get slightly lighter, and I'll be off. Been out just over an hour, something like 2.5 miles, I'm guessing, by the maps. I passed the 2,000 mile mark of the AT, so that's cool. Disaster struck already. My bladder leaked and it got sports drink all over my lower back, my rear end, totally soaked. I fixed it now, but it's not comfortable, especially because was about 2 minutes in when it happened. And I've realized that this little lingering cough I have, no matter what, I couldn't have done this today. Set the 34-mile out and back FKT. It's not like it's a terrible cough and I shouldn't be out here or something, but it's not awesome either. So I'm on the longest climb. It's like a 2-mile steep climb. Working my way up it, and everything else is okay. The trail's actually drier than I thought it would be, which is cool. It's not super slippery. All right, I'll check in later. Well, I'm up in the clouds. I love this section of trail. I'm approaching Horns Pond, which is an awesome little place, especially if you like fishing. It's phenomenal brook trout fishing. You'll pretty much get a bite every cast. No big brookies in there, but if you want to catch them, that's the place to go. And every now and again you'll get one big enough to keep and eat. There's plenty in there, so. Anyway, pace slowed a fair bit because I had over 2 miles of steep, rocky climbing, and it was really slippery. All those rocks were like a disaster. Saw an older couple coming down and they're like, this is treacherous. We're really slow on this. I'm like, I don't blame you. It's not safe. But I'm through it. This is still, the rocks here are pretty slippery too, but the wind is blowing, the sun's starting to come out, so I'm betting these are going to dry up. So Horns Pond is 5 miles, and I'm at over 2 hours now because my pace slowed so much, but that climb was by far the steepest and longest that I'm going to do today, so it's probably the slowest section, although if it hasn't dried up going down, it's going to be pretty slow too, but hopefully by then it has. I feel okay, just, that cough. It's annoying. I'll try to get a few shots of the pond up here. So here I am, made it to the South Horn. After Horns Pond, there was a significant climb, about 3/4 of a mile of real steep, but most of the steep for today is done. Looking over the Sugarloaf Mountain. You can see the ski trails down below at Stratton Brook Pond, which I've camped on a few times. Looking over, that's the West Peak, which is where I'm heading. It's going to be a lot of open rock above tree line that I'm going to be traversing, and that's my favorite. It's so freaking beautiful. I just love it up here. Definitely a favorite hike or run. Well, here I am just about to, it's that West Peak, the highest peak of Bigelows. A little treacherous after the South Horn there. Really slippery rock. I took one spill. It was not going very fast for a while. Fortunately, I got to where there was floor. It was a lot easier. Scrambling on these rocks is not easy for short people, by the way. There's Flagstaff Lake, which goes on forever. And there's South Horn, where I just was. I'm feeling okay, it's just the wet terrain has just made it so slow. So, probably not going to get as far as I initially wanted to today. But that's alright. Sometimes the conditions are just not favorable. If it wasn't for that wind, it would be a little on the hot side, but it's super, super windy. So that's good. It was in the snow. It was gorgeous. A little further. Sugarloaf over there on the ski trails. I believe 200 feet. drop off. I want to follow that. I wouldn't come back. Actually, I went twice in the storm. There's the sunset. Over there, Little Bigelow, which if I was doing the FKT that I'm going to do, the far side of that mountain would be my turnaround. And beyond there's the FKT, which is a beautiful walk between here and there. I'm going to take a minute, look at my map, see the distance. Here we are. And see if I think I've got time to get over there. And just enjoy this for a minute. It's spectacular. So I did it. I booked it from West Peak over to Avery, which is just under a mile. Drop down over 500 feet and go back up with lots of rock scrambling. So glad I did it. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm gonna go check out the. I know I've been here before, but I don't remember that structure. A couple of guys over there, which I've only seen 2 people so far today. That makes 4, which is kind of crazy. Usually a ton of people out here. So over there's a better view of Little Bigelow on the far side. You can see a little bit of water right there. That's where I would have been turning around if I was doing. This is a structure. And interesting, there's 18 markers right inside the structure. It's pretty cool. Get back down here. Get a little view of it. Not much to see, but really a nice view of Flagstaff all the way from the beginning to the end over there. If you want a little history, a little bit of information here. Flagstaff starts out in the town of Eustis or Stratton. The town has 2 names over there, and there was a town under it, and when they made the lake they just flooded the town, and there's still remnants of the town under that lake, which kind of gives me the creeps, to be honest. Beyond that, you see a lake way over there. I like to ice fish that. It's called Spring Lake. I went there, Brandon and I went there a couple times, maybe 3 times this past year, and I really liked it. There's never anybody out there, which is always a bonus. So, been a little longer than I wanted to, which is funny to say that because when I originally took off to do the whole FKT, I was going to be out until dark at least, not after dark. But, of course, I'm scheduling my FKT. I'm going to wait a day, 9 days from now, when I have time to do it. And hopefully this stupid nagging cough will be gone, because that really has not been the best. But I do have other responsibilities in life, so if I'm rescheduling being gone for that long during the day, then I should probably get back today and be a responsible adult. So I'm not gonna break my neck here getting back. Once I get in the trees, it's still pretty darn slippery. So I'm just gonna keep a steady pace and get myself back. Well, I just made it back past the South Horn, and I'm going down towards Horns Pond. It's about noon, so I've been out here for about 6 hours. And let me tell you what, somebody turned on the heat and humidity, and it's not comfortable. If I could have anything right now, it would be a snow cone. Oh, that would be amazing trail magic if somebody had a snow cone machine. I feel okay, just tired. The cold's definitely still dragging me down a little, I can tell. Looking forward to finishing. Gosh, what do I have left? Like 5.7 miles maybe? Maybe a little bit less. I can't wait to take a shower and have some vegan ice cream, which by the way is amazing. I never thought I'd be able to go vegan because I've always been obsessed with ice cream. Turns out there's vegan ice cream that is like way better than dairy ice cream. Ben and Jerry's brand, amazing. Quite a few other good brands too. So, picking my way down these rocks. Right here is dry. I don't have hope for other spots because in between West Peak and South Horn was still very wet. The humidity is just too much for everything to dry out. So if you're wondering about what somebody eats, how they fuel themselves, everybody's totally different. But I put a lot of sports drink and some plain water. Sports drink is a good way to get calories in without, there's only so much real food you can put in your stomach when you're being this active. And everybody's different. Some people really can't tolerate any solid foods, and some people prefer mostly solid foods. I'm somewhere in between. It depends on what I'm doing. You know, I mean, to be honest, there's not a whole lot of running today. It's more fast backing. Run where I can, which isn't super often. Partly just, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. This terrain is largely not runnable. There are runnable spots, and it's worse today just because it's so wet. Sorry about that. I had to pause because I startled a lone hiker. I have gel packs with me that have caffeine in them. I'm a total caffeine addict, so keeping that coming in is pretty important. I would crash if I didn't have my caffeine in me. I have potato chips, just plain potato chips that I crush them so that they, can fit in a little Ziploc bag. Those are awesome for not only getting in some calories, but a lot of potassium and sodium, which I'm sweating on a day like today is pretty important. And let's see, I've had some plant-based brownie bars that I brought. I also brought gummies and teeny bars, but I haven't had any of those yet. Packed way more food than I need, way more fluids than I need, which is great. I'd rather have that than run out. So keeping the fuel going in is pretty important. I'm going to stop here pretty soon, have a little clean water and get my chippies out. And hang this up so I can get down this treacherous stuff and get to the beautiful pond. One more quick stop. I've got beautiful Horns Pond behind me. Gonna get out some snacks and water. 5 miles left. It's hot and humid, but hanging in there. Fortunately, coming out of here, I've got like a 350-foot climb. But after that, it's nothing but little hills, mostly down. So that's gonna feel pretty nice. I've climbed going on 6,000 feet, and that feels like enough for now. Pretty cool section of trail with all these little caves in here. They go on, and the nice thing is that there's a lot of cold coming out of them. Could still really use a snow cone. Oh, what have I got left? I should be getting close to the intersection with the Cranberry Peak Trail. And I can't remember if that's 3.3 or 3.2, something like that. Which is awesome. It is hot. But I'm still moving. Down that intersection, I'm going to get one more of my gels out, pump some caffeine into me. And as you can see, the trail has dried up some. There's still a lot of slippery spots, but this was all really wet and slick this morning, so it's not as bad as I had feared going down. Yay! Look at that. If you're northbound, you've done 2,000 miles. Nice little spot here, just taking a real quick break. Mr. Cranberry Stream. 2 miles left. Hot, hot, hot out here. But I've still got some cold water, so I'm making it. Made it back. Trail magic. Right here at the trailhead. Ice cold Mountain Dew. It may not be a snow cone, but it's pretty close. It's 85 degrees and it feels like 100% humidity. It's kind of nasty, but I'm done, going home. Cold shower and ice cream, and I'll feel so much better. You know, things didn't work out all the way I planned today, but I had a decent training run in. I mean, my pace was horrible due to a number of factors. One, that I'm still battling this cold, and it was hot, and it was very slippery. I'm hoping in the morning to get out and do like another 3, sort of a back-to-back, long-ish run. See where I can make it to for trails before thunderstorms come in later in the morning. So here's to trail magic. It's a wonderful thing.